I was a little bit surprised actually to see how ChainSpec not too long ago announcing how their computer actually processed nearly 119 million transactions in a single day. This was as a couple days ago, or as of a couple days ago, I should say. What does that mean? That actually indicated over 1,300 transactions every single second all day long. What the? So we're seeing that when it comes to their computer in 2026, given these current market conditions. Wow, I'm pretty surprised seeing that. And I'll talk about why I think this could impact, or how this could impact, I should say, their computer moving forward, even though this is just my personal review perspective. Nothing I say is financial advice, and I'm not telling anyone to do anything. So again, if we take a look at it, yes, the computer, the recovery has been almost 3% in the past 24 hours in terms of the charts, but I think it's not too much in the grand scheme of things. I think what's more kind of relevant here, at least in terms of this recent announcement that I saw, is the fact that the computer can handle that type of activity. That's quite legendary, in my opinion, because this puts the computer in like this kind of more S tier, right? If you know what I mean, right? More of these high-end blockchains in a sense, because this is not the usual. Like, not every single project out there can do these type of numbers. Now, people like to tell me, does this mean their computer is going to become the best? No, not necessarily, because the best project out there of all time doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be number one in terms of popularity. It doesn't always work that way. You know, it's like, let's say, for instance, I'm a fan of Brooks, you know, the shoe company, which is owned by Berkshire Hathaway, by the way. When it comes to Brooks, I think it's amazing. But is it more popular than like Adidas or Nike? No, right? But I really like it. It's my favorite shoe company of all time. But I'm just saying, the best of the best fundamentals doesn't always mean the most popular or the most recognizable. What this showcases in the case of the computer is that it could hypothetically handle mass scale adoption if need be, which is sometimes what enterprises care about, because enterprises want to see, can a project handle what they, throw at it? They want to see if it can handle, their sort of volume. That's very important. So I think stuff like this is crucial when it comes to the computer in terms of being able to do that. So at least we know that the foundation is there. At least we know that, the fundamentals are there too. It's like, for instance, let's say I'm a contractor and I build the foundation for a building, and the foundation, let's say, can handle up to 100 floors. Does it mean that 100 floors will be built atop that foundation? Not necessarily, but at least it can handle it, right? So what does that do? It makes it more appealing to potential, developers that want to develop on that, maybe because they're taking a look at that and they're like, wow, it can handle up to 100 floors. It opens up more of this pool for developers to, look at that foundation and that piece of land. It's kind of no different here. With these statistics too, their computer is indirectly showcasing also to not only enterprises, but to developers that, hey, this is what's possible. And this is going to be especially crucial in the case of these developers that care about AI, the ones that care about, let's say, the global trade and finance space, or let's say they care about supply chain management. This type of stuff is often what is cared about. Why are they not really building in a massive way, at least as of right now, on their own computer? Well, it's because the market isn't doing the best. A lot of developers are leaving right now, not entering for the most part. But again, what this showcases is that it can handle that, which I'm not going to complain about, because if a project that I'm a fan of showcases that they can indeed handle, these type of numbers, why would I complain about that? I think it's actually quite impressive at the end of the day. And the computer, as of right now, I mean, yes, it's still around $2.20. The recovery around 3% in the past 24 hours. Not too much has gone on, ever since my last video, but that's not really the point, right? I'm still holding, I'm still waiting. This video is more so meant for the long-term fans of the computer, more so the ones that care about the fundamentals, because as of right now, it's boring. People don't really care about the fundamentals too much as of right now. But I want to focus on it because I've seen time and time again, things usually don't matter until they do. So to me, at least, I want to focus right now because I'm trying to prepare for the wave if it were to ever even come. I don't want to chase. That's the thing. So again, that's just kind of my mentality. That's why I want to focus on the fundamentals, because the fundamentals, that's usually what allows a project to kind of survive anyways through these market downturns, because as long as a project has a good use case and it's actually still surviving, it typically doesn't always get forgotten about if the market were to recover. That's kind of my mindset. This is a project here that was at around $20 just back in 2024. We're around $2.20 as of right now. Just going half of that, like, $10. We're talking about almost a 5 times journey. That's just from what I noticed. Will it go back there? I mean, we'll wait and see, but I'm just saying this is how low it is compared to what it has achieved previously in the past. I'm just saying, even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything. But again, as the internet computer, gets more and more busy in terms of, the activity and stuff like that, we've already seen that, hey, you know what? There's really not much concern there, because the recent statistics showcase that, hey, you know what? It can maybe handle mass scale adoption. Because some of their projects out there, I'm a little bit concerned. Can they actually handle mass scale adoption? Because the statistics don't really showcase that it could do that. But at least, with the recent statistics that I saw in regard to their computer, it gives me this, mindset where I feel like, oh yeah, you know what? Maybe it could handle it. You know what I mean? Like, as in, if it could handle those type of, numbers, then it gives me this belief that, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be worried one day if there is mass scale adoption when it comes to this. But yeah, besides that point, I'll be sure to make more updates moving forward, though. So I want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a spectacular day. It's been Lee the Captain. I'm out. Peace. Bye.